Happy motherfucking Monday! It's been a minute, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. It's been a minute because I've been struggling a lot with my mental health over the past few months, and so I couldn't sit here and feel like a hypocrite talking about all of the kind of mental health related issues that I talk about in this series. When I was feeling like I was struggling so much and I needed to kind of get a handle on where I was at mentally. I want to talk about this issue openly and comfortably because I think there's so much stigma attached to mental health, especially as it pertains to two things, what we project on social media and motherhood. There's a lot of guilt and shame around struggling with mental health as a mother, particularly in the phases of motherhood that I'm in right now, which is I'm soon to have a new baby in my arms. Yes, Escampali, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Here's the thing. Postpartum depression is something that we've all gotten a little bit more comfortable talking about. More doctors are coming out kind of supporting the medical findings that back the gravity of postpartum depression, taking the onus off of mom's shoulders. And I think more women are speaking out about their struggles with postpartum anxiety and depression, which is wonderful because it normalizes it more and more the more we talk about it. Now, I have just kind of crossed the threshold into my second trimester and I'm feeling a lot better, which is why I am comfortable having this conversation now. I wasn't comfortable having it with you while I was kind of in the thick of it, but I have struggled with prenatal depression for both of my pregnancies now in the first trimester. The first time I really didn't know what was going on at all. I had never heard of prenatal depression before. I'd heard of postpartum depression, of course, but never prenatal. I thought it was something that was unique to me and I was just a horrible person. And here I was, expecting this bundle of joy and everyone was, kind of congratulating me all of the time in those early days. And I was just feeling like shit because I was feeling like shit and I wasn't feeling overjoyed. I wasn't experiencing pure bliss. I was experiencing symptoms of depression that I had never, ever experienced in my life. I've talked openly quite a bit about my struggles with anxiety that I've had since childhood. Anxiety is something I'm familiar with. It's not something I enjoy, but it's like definitely within my comfort zone at this stage in my life. But depression was something completely foreign to me and I had no idea what was going on. I just felt like I was wrong for feeling that way because people were approaching me, expecting me to just feel nothing but elated and I was feeling anything but. So I really didn't know what was going on. Again, I at that point, was encouraged by my support system and my mom and my wonderful husband. Yeah, to seek help, get a therapist on deck. And that's when I started seeing the therapist that I'm still seeing to this day, 3 years later. And when I found this therapist, I was looking for someone that specialized in pregnant women or postpartum or something like that because I had a feeling that what I was experiencing was certainly due to the hormones that I was experiencing as well, or the hormonal roller coaster that I was experiencing. And when I found this woman, her specialty in the description was like postpartum and prenatal depression. And that was the first time I'd ever heard that term. And I was like, whoa, okay, this is normal. This is something that this doctor studied specifically. There must be other people who experience this. We acknowledge that postpartum depression is pretty standard because you go from being pregnant for 9 to 10 months and all of those pregnancy hormones to just being depleted of them overnight, seemingly, and processing that hormonal change over the next 6 months to a year. Yet, when it comes to the pregnancy stage, we don't really acknowledge the fact that all of a sudden we are dealing with all of these pregnancy hormones after never being pregnant our entire lives, or in my case, for the last 2.5 years, I haven't been pregnant. And now I'm kind of on that hormonal roller coaster all over again. So we acknowledge when the hormones like leave and the transition that happens there, resulting sometimes in postpartum depression, but we don't acknowledge the hormones coming into our bodies and what that transition must look and feel like from an emotional standpoint when it comes to prenatal anxiety or depression. It's just something that's not spoken about. And I think there's a lot of, again, shame and guilt and stigma around this because, you know, a miracle is happening. We're expecting new life, you know, we're creating life. This is like, it is miraculous and it's so exciting and it's such a blessing and it's 100% something to be so grateful for. Absolutely. And that all, you know, is how I feel. But in the same breath, I've also felt extremely depressed, and it was just, you know, kind of this vicious cycle that my body needed to process. And just like last time, as soon as I got into my second trimester, a lot of that emotion and those negative feelings just dissipated, like seemingly overnight. I just felt so much better. But while I was enduring it, you like the space buns? I can't stress enough the significance of having a professional, completely unbiased ear to talk to and tap into. I would definitely say that having her in my back pocket helped reassure me this time that I had a support system around me that was equipped to get through it, because I knew I'd been through it before. All of this to say, because she's really losing her patience clearly, all of this to say, I just want to normalize all of these things. Like, if you are experiencing depression at any phase in your life, or anxiety at any phase in your life, that's normal. We're all in it. It's been a really fucking hard year, guys. It has. Mentally, I think we're all hitting certain walls. I know I certainly am. We all are in this house. We, you know, are listening to Baby Shark on repeat, which definitely doesn't help anything when it comes to mental health. But I just want to normalize it, because if we don't normalize it, then we don't say anything about it. And if we don't say anything about it, then we don't know that there are tools and resources out there to help us through it. So one of the resources I want to share with you is a company called Calmary, and they help you find therapists or mental health resources that will be helpful to you, whether it's sourcing them locally or by a specialized need that you might have. They make it super, super easy to find the right fit for you, and I also can't stress enough how important that is. My therapist specializes, like I said, in postpartum, prenatal, all that kind of stuff. She's also a mom of 2. So when I'm venting to her and when I'm feeling stressed out or I'm anxious about having a second child, like all of these things, she can totally relate on a personal level. And I think that really helps me. I just can't sing the praises enough of all of the women out there who are speaking out about their own mental health struggles, especially as mothers, because there is so much shame attached to that. You know, what we see on social media is everyone projecting these like images of just perfect families and happy children and happy parents and everyone looking like they really have their shit together, and that is just not reality at all. So normalizing these conversations, I think, is so important in kind of moving that needle forward to get us all to a better place mentally and health-wise. And I am just sending you all the love and light today. I will leave the link in my bio for where you can access Calmary and their resources. And I appreciate you guys listening. Happy motherfucking Monday, and I will see you guys in the next one.